Coach Nick Ledbetter Show. Coach, man, another, I don't know if we want to say tough week. You know, a big football game on Friday night, and went into double overtime, lost it in double overtime.
Yeah.
I know that's not. It's hard on the kids when you play well and then lose a heartbreaker like
That
that.
game was a big step into not only area play, possible home playoff implications. There's a lot involved in that game, so it was a big time game. They have a good football team. We did a really good job with the quarterback. If you'd told me the quarterback would have had 28 yards rushing, I would have said we win.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You know, we held them scoreless for basically 47 minutes and 40 seconds or something like that. So, defensively, we played a great football game, I thought.
We did. We had to change some stuff up on defense this week to mess the quarterback up. We took it away from him. If you watch the game, you really didn't get to see how good he is at reading midline veer and zone read, and we were able to completely take that part of the game away. And we felt like if we could take him out of the game, we felt pretty good about being able to beat him. Nobody's taken him out of the game yet, but I felt like we did a really good job with him, taking him away. And then, 13, they finally, late in the game, they started just handing it to the tailback and got a little movement on us. I was tickled with our approach and our game plan. We executed it pretty well. We still had a few busts.
Yeah.
We definitely had a bust at the end. And I'll take that one. Anytime you get beat in the game like that, that's always the coach's fault, and that's definitely on me there. I should have put us as a coach, you want to put your kids in the best opportunity to make plays and give them, in the best situation. I didn't feel like I put them in a good situation at the end.
Yeah. Offensively, I thought we played well. I thought McLaughlin had his best game on Friday night. So what's your thoughts on the quarterbacking?
He did. He played a good game. He read through his progressions pretty well. Hit it when our flats was there. He took it, and that's one of the things we've been telling him. If it's there, throw it. And he hit McCurdy in the flats a few times, and we hit a big corner ball on we kind of rolled out to the left side, and he hit the corner route on a 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8 play, which is a big play. And then we have a 4th and 1 on the 9-yard line. We get that first down, and that's another one.
Absolutely.
I felt the play call was fine. Obviously, the decision on 4th and 1 at that point in time in the game was the right decision, but I had that timeout in my pocket. Probably should have used one and made sure everybody understood exactly what they were doing and who they were going to have. They were not a team that blitzes, so we knew they weren't going to bring any pressure. Right. They were just going to sit in the 4-3, and all we had to do was get 1 yard, and we felt good about getting it. And that was kind of the factor in my head why I didn't burn that timeout, because we knew they weren't going to stunt. Right. And they didn't stunt. We just kind of had one guy get beat a little bit.
Yeah. Very close play there. I actually was there at that point, and looked like we missed it maybe by,
Yeah, it was just a couple inches.
A couple inches there. And so, I really did. I thought the Plainview Bears played a great football game. Of course, I wasn't there for the whole game, but they seemed very excited, on the field and on the sidelines during the game. And, you just felt good about how this team was playing on Friday night.
Well, we executed. We finally started executing some stuff, especially on offense. They had, there was one play we ran a lot. We ran over and over and over, but they were giving it to us.
Yeah.
And they did not adjust. They sat in there. They kept their bubble away from where we was wanting to keep it, and we took advantage of one of their ends. We couldn't really run it to the other side because they had a couple of really good football players on that side. We felt really good about running it the opposite side, and we had a lot of success on that one play. But over time, they seen it enough that late in the game they were able to come off of it. And when we had some other plays that we had some misses on. There in the second overtime, we had the route and the play call that we wanted. We had the guy that we wanted to throw the ball to that was wide open in the end zone, and we missed him. First drive of the game, we take it, we march right down the field, get in the red zone, and we lay it on the ground. We laid it on the ground twice in the first half.
Yeah.
One we got back, but it was still a negative play.
Yeah.
And any time you have a negative play, it hurts you.
Oh, absolutely. Against a good football team. The Susan Moore team was 3-0 coming in, and again, I thought we gave them probably all, considering the injuries and the things that have happened this year. I thought we played a great football game, and some of those young kids stepped it up this week and played really well. And so, talk to us a little bit about some of those kids who played well offensively and defensively for you.
Well, I thought up front on the offensive line we played pretty well on that. Jonathan Brown had a really good game up front. The freshman Mason Cooper had another good game up front. Both of our backs I felt like did a good job. Like I mentioned, the quarterback McLaughlin did a good job. And then we did a really good. One thing you don't see is our perimeter. We went a lot of open sets with a Y and X and Z out, and they blocked very well on the perimeter.
Yeah.
A lot of those big runs we had and the touchdown runs we had, they were engaged and they were locked on.
Yeah.
And we also had some missed executions. We had 2 plays. You know, you see them on film. We miss one guy, and that one guy comes off and makes a play. And if we get them or stay on them just a little bit longer, keep our hands inside just a little bit longer, we score on both those plays.
Right.
So, and then defensively, I thought we moved some people around. I think we moved Jonathan Brown over to the middle backer, and he kind of played cleanup role for us, and we sent him a lot.
Yeah.
He played a good game. We played pretty well up front. 57, Jacob Dover up front had a pretty good game. Drew Smith, again, on defense and offense, had a good game. And overall, we installed a lot of things this week.
Yeah.
We game planned last Sunday, and we went with a different front, totally different look on defense. But a lot of it was our personnel. It fit our personnel the best. But the other thing was we had to take that quarterback's eyes out of the game.
Yeah.
We had to force him to hand the ball off or force him to throw the ball. And we did both of those with our game plan. And Coach Parker, defense coordinator, did a really good job putting all that in.
Yeah, I did. I thought defensively it was a really good game, and that was one of the questions I was going to ask. You know, I know you changed the defense this week, and you know, with all the injuries, I know that was probably part of the reason you did it, and then the other was to stop that quarterback. So, but I thought, talking about Mason Cooper, and we mentioned him on the scoreboard show on Friday night, I thought he played just a fantastic game. You know,
well.
Ninth grader, I believe,
Ninth
if I'm
grader,
not mistaken, and you know, he stepped it up.
I know he had 10 tackles on defense and played nose most of the night. We had a lot of guys, though, that had 10 tackles or more. I think we had 4 or 5 guys, 10 tackles or more. Jonathan Brown had 12, I believe. Had another D lineman with 10. So we had 2 D linemen that had 20 tackles between the 2 of them.
Yeah. I thought Jonathan Brown, you know, moving him to linebacker, and I was real impressed with his play. And of course, he has a spark out there too. He gets really excited. I noticed, you know, he was getting the team pumped up. Him and the Dover kid. You know, defensively, I thought played really good and offensively. You know, like I said, a few mistakes. I thought Drew Smith ran the ball hard on Friday night, and
Drew's
so
got that second gear. He's got another gear to him when he gets an open field.
Yeah,
he's a physical kid. He's hard to tackle, and Jesse's the same way. They both got that second level gear when we get them to the second level.
Yeah. Talk a little bit about, I think this is right, we didn't have any injuries on Friday night.
No,
not to
a few bumps and bruises, but no, we've come through clean for the first time this year.
Man, that is great. That's a big step going into this week. You know, you're not having to make a lot of personnel adjustments because of injury. And, you know, one of the things, we were on the sideline, and when we got there, I was just amazed at the kids in boots.
Oh, yeah.
I told my wife, I said, it looks like a war zone. I mean, with all those kids in boots. And then I was kidding with her. I said, and I'd like to be the person that was furnishing all those boots, because they made a killing off of Plainview. Yeah. So, but man, great to know we did not have any injuries this week. And, that really helps you coming this week with, with your practice.
We get healthy this week. There's 3 kids that I think we got a chance to get back this week, so that's a big deal for us. And, so it just gives us more depth everywhere.
Oh, absolutely. I did notice Ashley Spagner didn't play in the game.
He did not play.
And it looked like he'll be back this week.
He should be. We'll find out more tomorrow, but he should be back.
Yeah. He's a big leader for this football team, and defensively and offensively. But, again, man, you had some players who stepped up, and that's what you want. That's what you want in this situation, some of these young guys. And, this week, talk a little bit about this week's game. Huge rival. We travel up to Sylvania. Of course, you were the defensive coordinator at Sylvania last year. You come back home to Plainview this year, and so I know Sylvania. They're going to be excited about playing against you, and hoping, of course, just playing against Plainview anytime is
right. That's a big rivalry game. Number one. Number two, it's a big area game.
Oh, absolutely.
More importantly, it's a big area game, and this is a game that has a chance. That's the number one in the playoffs. It's a big game, and it's still the way the kind of the parity of the region a little bit. It still has could possibly have home playoff implications on it, depending on how the rest of the season goes out. So it's a really big game, and like like I said, it's a big area game too, and then coaching all those kids and these kids too. It's kind of exciting for me. So I get to, get to prepare for a team and a bunch of kids that were hardworking kids, and I know how they work, and I know how Coach Putnam game plans. Right. And they'll be ready for us. They'll have a good game plan.
Absolutely. And I know, a game like this, a lot of times after losing a heartbreaker like we did on Friday night, and it was 20-14 in overtime, and but when you lose that heartbreaker, sometimes it's hard to get up for your next game. But this being who it is, I don't think we'll have any trouble getting ready for this football game.
I don't think we'll have any letdown this week.
Yeah. Talk to us a little bit about this Sylvania team. Of course, you know a lot about them from spending a couple of years up there. So talk to us about offensively and defensively what you got to get ready for this week.
Well, up front, they're going to run a lot of heavy sets, multiple different heavy sets, 2 tight end sets, and they want to run the football. Yeah. They want to run the football downhill. They want to down block you, and they're going to kick route, and that's what their bread and butter is. But this year, I think they're a little bit better in the play action game and just the quick game and the 90 game overall. They're a little more. They spread you out a little more on offense. Even though they may be tight, they may be a too tight heavy set. They still got the kids that can spread the field out on the snap. Man, it makes them a little more dynamic on offense, I believe, this year because they have 2 different quarterbacks. They're young kids. They're both of them talented kids. They both throw the ball well, and they got several guys who can catch the ball. Yeah. They want to run power football too. So you have to be able to shut them down in the run game, and you have to be able to make sure your DBs and linebackers, they don't fall asleep with their eyes after they've tried to run the ball downhill because they'll play action, and next thing you know, the ball's by you. Yeah. So we got to do a really good job of stopping that heavy run game and then being smart and not running upfield on the play action game. And we've had that happen a few times already where we come flying up, and the next thing you know, the ball's behind us. Yeah. Well, I know
Sylvania's kind of in the boat we are. They've had some injuries this year. I think my understanding the Shavers kid is having surgery this week. And now that's just what I had heard.
Not sure.
I think somebody said he had posted on Facebook. This was Friday night was his last game. I know. He may still have some problems with his leg from last year, the break he had, and then the other running back who got his leg broke last week. But they've got another 9th grader who has stepped in.
Gareth Anderson. Gareth Anderson.
Gareth Anderson.
Sophomore. He's a talented
sophomore.
Kid.
Okay. Yeah. And he's done a great job for him. So that'll be and then the quarterback.
Quarterbacks, they have 2. They have a sophomore quarterback and Eli Gurley, and a freshman quarterback and Brody Smith.
Yes, yeah. So both of those, that's going to be a great football game. Defensively, I know you were the coordinator there, and so you know a lot about the defense there. So talk to us a little bit about Sylvania's defense and what our offense will have to do to be able to, run the ball and throw the ball and score.
They do some things different than defensively than what they did when I was there. They're going to slant. They're going to get in the 50 front some and slant. They're going to get in the 50 and just play a little cover 2 or 4 coverage out of it. But I think we'll see a lot of 8-man box, 1 high. I think we'll see a lot of split 4 look, 1 high safety, and they might spin them and roll them a little bit. But we got to be able to run the football against them in order to open up a little space to throw the ball some. But they're pretty good on defense. They have some defensive lines not bad. Linebackers are not bad. Secondary's pretty good. The 2 safeties are probably as good as any safeties we've played all year. They're 2 defensive ends, probably as good as the defensive ends we've played all year. So they'll be tough to move a ball against for sure.
Oh, absolutely. Well, talk a little bit now. I know each week you always pick your kind of the standouts, the players who got the awards. So let's talk a little bit about that. Who played well and who got awards this week?
Well, we're still in the grading process right now. We have we normally go through all finished up on Sunday, and then we give them their awards on Monday.
Right.
We'll come in and watch film on Sunday, but we try to get them in and out. We don't keep them very long.
Sure.
Try to get them out on Sunday, but we do our awards on Monday. But
because
of our ball game we have with the young kids today, we got to rush through. I know some of the kids like up front on offensive line, Jonathan Brown and Mason Cooper had another good game. Drew Smith, as far as running the ball, had a really good game. And John Brown's effort on both sides of the ball was fantastic all week. I don't know that he may end up getting the defensive award. And up front, the defensive line, I believe Jacob Dover will probably end up with that. I'm trying to go through all of them in my head. There's so many of them we give out. I know we did offensive scout team, defensive scout team. I believe the Giovanni kid got the offensive scout and defensive scout I just can't remember all of them.
Oh yeah. Well, I know.
I need to do a better job of bringing those in.
Oh, that's okay. Well, we're filming on a different day this week, and
Yeah.
that's kind of messed things up just a little bit. But again, just I thought the Plainview team stepped up and just gave a great effort on Friday night, and again, just a player or two away from actually winning that game, and and like I said, I know there's still some mistakes there, but you got to feel good about how this team is progressing.
Honestly, the way we played against Collinsville and North Jackson, as far as the fundamentally and being clean, we've played clean those two games.
Right.
Our breakdown game was the Geraldine game, where nothing went our way.
Right.
Everything was wrong. And honestly, we were probably a little too amped up that game because that's probably the most intense week of practice we've had, and our kids were sky high going to that Geraldine game, and this week we're more leveled out and even keel, and I think that difference showed up in our kids.
Yeah.
But fundamentally, as far as delay of games, false starts, penalties, we've really not had many of those all year. But the turnovers, we've got to stop putting the ball on the ground. Those have killed us in every game we've played.
Oh, absolutely.
And we got to continue to get better each week, and we got to continue. And that, like offensively, was talking about some of the things different. I think when we played Collinsville up front on offensive line, we had 3 or 4 pancakes.
Yeah.
We played North Jackson, I think we had 10. We played Geraldine, I think we had 11 or 12. And I know before halftime, as coach was grading, we were finishing up grading stuff last night, and I know before halftime we was already at 12.
Oh, wow.
Before halftime.
Yeah.
Last game, so we may be up around 15, 16. So we are improving each week on both sides of the ball, and we're playing fairly clean with the exception of that Geraldine game. We just got to keep staying fundamental and play as clean as we can, because if you get a bunch of kids playing hard, 11, whether it's special teams, offense, defense, they're playing hard and they're playing clean and they're flying around the football, and we're not putting it on the ground, you're going to have success. And we've been there. One of our comments and quotes, one of our other Coach Clements has been saying all year, we're so close, but yet so far. I mean, we're so close yet so far away. We've come this far to come this far. It's just
absolutely.
We're just right there. It seems like all the time.
Yeah. Well, another great opportunity this week against the Sylvania Rams, and of course I know we've got to travel up there. Another road game. It seems like we've been on the road most of the season. We did get to play at home against Susan Moore, and I think that probably helped the kids being able to just play at home.
It did. They had a chance to, anytime you play at home, it's a good thing. We had a chance to, our routine was able to change up. We didn't have to go straight from a pep rally to a walkthrough to eating to getting our pads and pants and to get on a bus and leaving. We had a little extra time to actually do a cleaner walkthrough, spend a little more time on it. And the kids, when we finished up with our pep rally and our meal and going through our walkthrough, I think they still had an hour and 20 minutes to just get zoned in mentally and emotionally for the game. And that makes a difference.
Oh, absolutely. And there's a good crowd there on Friday night, a good home crowd, and of course I know there'll be a good crowd traveling up to Sylvania this week for that big game. Community-wise, that's always a big game too. The fans get real excited about Plainview, Sylvania, and so that's going to be a huge game. We got just a few minutes. Let's talk a little bit about your coaching staff. I know, this coaching staff comes in, a lot of them, even you come in the summertime and it's nearly like, you guys are just now probably starting to gel a little more together because, most teams have their coaching staff in place, in the spring or have had them there for several years. And, I thought just watching Plainview, I thought the offensive coordinator and the defensive coordinator both did a great job calling the game on Friday night. So just talk about our coaches and Coach Clements. I tell you what, he is. I enjoy being around him. He's I don't know if high strung is the right word, but he's very intense. Maybe that's the word I use.
He is. Yeah, he's one of a kind for sure.
Absolutely.
He's always on a high every day. He wakes up. He's ready to go to work.
Yeah.
He's positive. If he needs to get on the kids, he'll get on the kids as well.
Yeah.
But he loves kids and he loves coaching, and it shows through him constantly all the time.
Oh, absolutely.
But yeah, me and him got to work together at Sylvania, and he was able to come over here with me when we came. And then Chase Parker's the only coach other than some volunteer coaches. Philip Jackson, Josh York, Elijah White graduated. He's also helping. Saul Jose is another one that that stayed, and but Chase has done a good job on the defensive side. We as a staff, we kind of split up each on Sunday. Who does what offensively, who does what defensively, and special teams wise, and we have we get along. Everybody's pulling in the same direction, and when everybody's working. But after a couple of weeks, we did have to hide all the sharp objects and ropes and things like that. I had to get all those out of the field house, but
sure,
we all come to work every day, and it's a really fun staff to work with. And another volunteer, Coach Paul Bell, helps us with linebackers, and he helps with the 7th and 8th grade, and so does my brother Nathan. They do the same thing. Nathan kind of helps. He helps with the special teams and helps a little bit on offense, a little bit on defense, moves around. And Brad Bruce, the offensive coordinator, and of course Clements is the offensive defensive line coach. And then Coach Pros, also we got him that helps with us. But Brad he called a good game, and he sees things well, and he knows where the weak spots are and what we can and what we can't do. It's just that execution. We got to be able to execute what's called.
Oh, sure, yeah, and again, I know when a coaching staff comes in like you guys did this year, these kids are not familiar with maybe your terms, they're not familiar with the offense or the defense you're running, and you can see, and again, watching them from game one going through this week, you can see the difference. It looks like they're a little more confident in what they're doing, and and again, there's still some mistakes there, and hopefully those get corrected this week. But you can tell they're starting to play with a little confidence and feel more comfortable in what they're doing.
Well, some of the things changed. Our pad level is getting just a little bit lower each week. We've played high, like light poles, blocking like running the ball and blocking like just big old tall trees, and we're finally getting just a little bit lower. We're still not where we need to be on some of that stuff on offense and defensively at both levels as far as our pad level, but it's getting a little better each week, and the kids are fine. We had a couple kick blocks where we were in the hip pocket kicking out instead of chest to chest, and because when you get chest to chest, I mean that guy's just going to extend you and get rid of you. But we had some nice low kicks this week and some good wraps, and as long as we keep improving that and we do our job and maintain our blocks and get off our blocks defensively and read our keys and trust what our job is, we're going to continue to improve.
Oh, absolutely. Well, again, big game this week, big region game, and it's big for both teams.
Yes.
Big for Sylvania and Plainview. I if I'm not mistaken, I don't think Sylvania has not won a region game yet. Am I correct on that?
You're right there.
I think that's right. And so, it's big for both teams. And like I said, this thing is a long way from over as far as region play. And a lot of things can happen, a lot of football to play. And so, hopefully we have a big crowd to travel up to Sylvania on Friday night and cheer this Plainview Bear team. And, I feel good about where we're at. And I feel like we're going to get that first win this week. I feel really good about the situation, Coach.
Well, I think our kids will be ready to play. I think they're going to be excited. They can see how close they are. So that's one good thing we got from last week is they can see on film and they know, they pretty well dominated the game for the most part, and they know they have that ability to do that. Yeah. We just still got to clean up some things, and we got to do a better job on ours. It's kind of like when the quarterback on the last play kind of started rolling around and rolling out. We had a few guys starting to creep up, and that situation you can't do that.
Right.
But, and at the same time, I should have put them in a better situation to cover that and called the timeout and said, hey, when he starts running around, just talked about the things that can happen on that play. And we were debating on whether to pressure him or not pressure him, but we got pressure on him just with our 3-man rush. They just executed.
Yeah. Well, Coach, good luck this week. And again, big game, and we ask that we hope that our community will travel up and cheer the Plainview Bears on. I know it's going to be a big, exciting week, and we look forward to being back here next week and talking about the big win against the Sylvania Rams.
Sounds like a plan.
All right,
appreciate it,
Coach.
I'm John Baker, candidate for sheriff in DeKalb County. I want to ask for your vote and support on November the 6th. I believe that I'm the most qualified candidate in the race due to my many years of leadership roles from teenager all the way through law practice and through service in the legislature and through my private employment. I'm going to serve without accepting a salary. I want to, that money can be diverted to other critical needs in the Sheriff's Department. Unselfish public service will be my reward. I ask for your support on November the 6th. Thank you.
Southern State Bank in Rainsville, we excel within the walls of our bank and outside these walls too. We're actively working with area schools to improve classrooms and supporting area student athletes on fields and courts. We work and worship at most churches in the Rainsville community. We also work to enhance the lives of area seniors, thanking them for a lifetime of contributions. We're the bankers and corporate citizens at First Southern State Bank. True community banking.
Listen to some of Johnson's satisfied customers.
Everything exceeded our expectations. No one will ever work here other than Johnson. We give them an A+. The crew was awesome.
This is the third company that installed a unit in my house and the first that did it right.
Don't you want to know what type of person is working at your home? All of our employees must pass a background check and are subject to random drug testing. We won't send anyone to your home that we wouldn't trust in ours.
Call Johnson Heating and Cooling today, Alabama's largest and most awarded TVA dealer.
Hello folks, this is Andy White down here at Bobby Ledbetter's Twin City in Fort Payne, Alabama. I want to invite everybody to come out to our new location. We're at 1411 Glen Boulevard, right where you turn to go on Airport Road. We've got plenty of inventory for you to choose from. I got cars, trucks, vans, sport utility vehicles of any make and model. Come down here and visit us. Let us see what we can do for you. If you got some slow credit, I've got some banks that'll take care of that. We've got great financing, got a great selection of cars. Y'all come down here and see us.
Don't take the first deal that comes along when you can do better at BobbyLedbetter.com and Twin City Used Car Sales, located at 1411 Glen Boulevard in South Fort Payne.
How do you show love? With the big things? The little things? The tough things? Your everything. Show them you care. Alpha Insurance.